Hey crafty babes, welcome to summer of 23. This theme is For the Record and I'm so excited. It has a bright, fun, colorful summer music theme to it. So we are going to go through this, and just a reminder, this is a digital collection only. This is not a magazine. So anything that's in here is just strictly the printables that come in this collection. We're just taking a little teeny tiny break from making a magazine. This is the one time of the year that we just don't produce a magazine, but we produce a ton of printables for you. So let's dive in. I'm going to start with the papers, and then I'm going to go into all of the ephemera and things that you can cut up and cut out and play with. So let's get started with the papers. First of all, this is the way that I organize my my printables. So every issue, even the collections, come with a reference sheet. So it has this little section where it gives you a preview of the papers and colors and cards, and then a little label here that you can pop on top, as well as different labeling options based on how you might store your printables. So you might store them, you know, with like a little plastic insert or something, so you can stick the name of it inside of your little plastic divider, or you could punch these tabs out, and these go with the We Are Memory Keepers tab punch. I personally love using a file folder, and then I just use the label to just label the top of the file folder. That way I can keep all of my papers all together. I also use this paper tray, which is actually like a divided tray for food. It's supposed to be like a cafeteria type of thing, but I love them so much. They are very sturdy. Yes, they're paper, but I've never had them bend or bow or anything, and I'll link to them in the description because they are really fabulous, and they come in a large pack. But I've done where I've used them for traveling, like if I go to a crop or a retreat, and I can use them for all kinds of goodies like this, and I can also use them for snacks. So there's endless uses for them. But we're gonna again start with the paper. So I use these white file folders, and then I keep all of my papers and any full-size things in here. So there are a couple of things that I haven't cut up yet, but we're gonna just go through everything that comes in this collection. So we have big Polaroids. These are already like, some of them have like a little space to add a stamp or some journaling or a date stamp or extra ephemera. We have 4 activity pages. I love these so much. So the first activity page is the Choose Your Own Crafty Challenge, where Susanna and I come up with a list of things where you can use them as prompts for anything. So you can use these as a photo prompt or a journaling prompt or a listing prompt, or any way that you want to use this. You can also just cut these out, and maybe you already have a picture of something that's nostalgic. You can just use the label as a die cut. So it gives you a lot of options, but just another way to kind of prompt you in your memory keeping. The next one is a word search. We did our first word search in issue number 30, and this summer of 22 collection, I knew I had to keep this going because they are just so much fun. Then there is the 3 Little Things, which is just a very quick, kind of like rapid fire questions, but I wanted it to be a little more listy. So I just gave 6 prompts, and then you can just quickly write down 3 things that you think about for your list. And then name a hit. So we've got a music theme, and I wanted to really lean into that. So each one of these is, you can write down a song that has this in it. So like a song about a beach, a song about the beach. So write down whatever song you love or think of first, write the name of the song down, and maybe even the artist. A song about summer love, a song about vacation, a song about the heat of summer. like just something fun to kind of get your mind going about music and maybe diving into one of your summer playlists. If you need a fun summer playlist, I will link my Spotify playlist down in the description as well, because we all love a good summer playlist. Another super fun thing that Micah and I came up with together is making your own little record sleeves. So she made 4 record covers. So these are going to be the covers for your record sleeves. And then this is the template. So you would just cut around the outside here and cut your records out. And then here are 4 alternative like record labels, and so you can punch a hole in the middle and then you can decorate or like stamp or write something. But the cool thing is this little fake record fits like, you know, right inside the sleeves. You just, you know, fold the pieces together. You can use it in your journals, your memory keeping, wherever you'd like. And then you can print this template out. Like if you want to make all 4 of these records, you can just print this out 4 times. And you'll always have a record and a little record sleeve to go with it. The next is Polaroids. Of course, I had to include Polaroids. I like to print mine in a couple of different sizes. So this is a smaller version, and then I also have them printed a little bit larger. That way I just have some variation. And you'll see these in detail in when we go through all the ephemera. So I'm just going to pass by these pretty quick. So here's a sheet of ephemera, here's some hearts, here's the labels, which I also like to print in different sizes. So with the paper, there's going to be main papers, solids, and then grids. So I'm going to go through the grids first real quick, and I'll just give you a brief look at how we do the grids. So there's going to be a tone on tone grid for every color, and there'll be one of each. So there'll be dark on light and light on dark. So you're going to have all of those options. And then there will be a light and a dark version of the lines. You're not going to see the light ones right here because I've already done a project where I used all the light versions. But so basically you're going to have a dark pink and a light pink, a dark orange, and so on. And then here are the main papers. So I'm just going to go through them super fast. And then here we have the solids. So you're going to have, again, every color, light and dark versions. And these solids have a little bit of a creased overlay, so it gives a little bit of that crackly vintage vibe. Those are the papers. I'm pretty sure when I did the last count, there were 69 total pages of pattern paper. I realize that's a lot, and you are not expected to print them all. But again, I just like you to have options. Let's get into the ephemera and the cards. So actually, let's talk about the cards first. Okay, let's talk briefly about the 4x6 cards. There are 3 of them. So one with a little record, one with this cute vintage girl, and like a little color block. Then we have some cards with speech bubbles. So these are going to have speech bubbles. I wrote these lines, so they don't come with those lines on them, but you can write or stamp or do anything you want to those. Here are some stripe filler cards, which can also be used as journal cards. Here are the filler cards. So we have this record player, a record, a cute van. I guess I could have included this in the stripes, but definitely a filler card. Probably one of my favorites, but have you heard it on vinyl? And then we have journal cards. So anything that can be you know, written on that's meant for documenting or journaling on. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, which coordinates with these. So I'll get to those in just a second. For the record, just a nice grid. Summer recorded. Maybe you could put like a mixtape on here or just anything about a story. And then for the record, maybe like a quote, because the for the record has two meanings, you know, documenting things like recording things, and also a record like listening to music. So you can definitely use it in both ways. So these cards here are meant to coordinate. Now there is an orange version of this, but I have used it in another project already. So, but you've got like a situation here where you can decorate or journal or write things out, but more in just a grid kind of format. So you'll have 4 of those, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this can be maybe a list of 4 things, top 3 things. It can be where you take all 4 of these and you make a list of like, you know, your top 4 things, and you make, you know, a little bit of journaling about each one of them. You can use them in a lot of different ways. We've also got these cute little daily, I don't even know what these are. I just kind of had this idea when I saw, like, you know, those Post-it flags? Well, when I was working in an office and I had to do a lot of things with files and color coding, I had all my different colors and I had them all lined up, and they just always looked so pretty, but you could just kind of pull them out and pull, you know, the one that you needed and the next one would pop up. And so I saw one of those and I was like, oh, that would be so fun, but to do it with the colors from Monday through Sunday. So you kind of have like a muted version and then a bold version. And this could be anything like writing down your routines. This can be, you know, things that you did each day, something that you're grateful for each day. There can be so many uses for this. Let's see, we have Polaroids, obviously. So all the colors of Polaroids. These do not have the names on them, so that you have the freedom to stamp or journal whatever you want on those. One of the ephemera pieces or ephemera sheets has a couple of extra little Polaroids, but I haven't trimmed the tops of these out, but we have lined notes because these have become very, very popular. You girls are liking these. Perfect for journaling. I printed a couple of the ephemera sheets in both sizes, so I'm going to show you both sizes here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to like exactly match them up, but I will try. So this is actually the small version, and here's the big version of a few of these. There's just room to have them in both sizes. You know what I mean? You just never know what you're going to need them for. But we have some word art here. So for the record, summer recorded, girl, put your records on, and nostalgic. And then here they are in the smaller versions. I printed mine half size. So you'll get the full size, and you can just always, you know, make them a different size for yourself. So there they are smaller, and then there are sets of quotation marks. Some have patterns, some are solid, but there are 4 sets, and they're really cool in the larger version too. I really like them. And then we have this little player in both sizes. And then, oh, where's my other speech bubble? Oh, there it is. So these 3 speech bubbles come with the lines on them, so they're easy for journaling. And here they are in the smaller versions. And then we've got these 5 little vintage radios. And I really like them in both sizes too. I'm probably just going to say that about everything. I like them in both sizes. and of course in all of the colors. And then we've got some extra little ephemera tags with like a brown tan color. I've been loving using this color as a neutral versus everything just being on white. And I really like it. I think it'll add a nice punch off of like a white paper also. So there's also a cute radio. And then, I don't know where my other, oh, you know what? I didn't print this page. This page I didn't print in the smaller size. So we've got the girl being super cute. And then we've got the record player cartoon and the record cartoon. And hand holding a record, hand holding cassette tapes, the cute van, and then like a little striped ribbon. So those are the main ephemera pieces. We also have tags and tickets and hearts and florals. So here are Kelly's florals. They're so cute. She snuck some records in each one. I just love it so much. And there's, oh, these are the add-ons. The tickets come in the big version. So if you want them smaller, again, you can always print them smaller, but I just really like the big chunkiness of them. But I also really like them in kind of like your traditional size. Again, I like to give you guys options. And here's a couple more. And they're all a little bit music themed. A little bit, not too much. Like this one just says concert, but this one just says ticket. This one says here for the tunes. There's one that says county fair, and it says games, Ferris wheel, and live music. So, you know, they can be tucked and put anywhere, but I do kind of like the big, this could be like a major piece on your page. So those are the tickets. And then here, oh, there's a couple tickets tucked in here. I printed the hearts in both sizes as well. Let me get a couple of these tickets out of here. Because again, you've got to have variety. And I'm not going to show you every single one of them, but you get the idea. And fun little fact that the way that these the way that these hearts are set up on the printable itself became the inspiration, well, actually became the artwork for one of the t-shirts for the merch for this collection. So very cool. I love all the colors, and you just kind of have, you know, one or two for each colorway, and then there's things like this that, you know, play off of the card with all the colors, and that way you can mix and match and use them with everything. And then something new for this, for printables for me specifically, are these fun little flags and just like little, yeah, they're just kind of all flags essentially. Kind of representing like what you could put in a planner maybe, where you could maybe stamp the date and maybe, you know, maybe Monday and then the big date or something like that. I don't have a ton of like examples or experience with these shapes. I just wanted to do something fun and different, and so that's what we have. We also have like these little flag, I don't really know what else to call them, honestly, like little flags. I've printed them in on sticker paper as well. So they could be popped in your planner and just used as little flags, little indicators. And there's also, so there's a light version and a dark version, and then there's also these slim flags that just have like a white space and then a color blocked space. So these are going to be really fun. I think they'll be great for like adding those little bits of stamped journaling or those little sentiments. And here are all of those. I printed them like 3 or 4 times, not on purpose, but just because I printed them once so that I could use the Cricut, and then, I mean, not the Cricut, my Silhouette, and then I printed them another time with the full sheet and then ended up cutting them out by hand. And then I printed them a third time on the clear sticker paper. So I have an abundance of those. And then last but not least is the labels. And I went back to I don't know, many magazines ago, and I was including some circle options. So I went back to including some circle options because it's just fun to get some variety and change things up. And then all of these are the beveled edge where it's straight on the corner. I just really wanted, I mean, I know I always did the round and the beveled, but in case you guys are fussy cutting, the beveled is just so much easier to hand trim. So I just thought that I would make them all square and make them easy. And that way everybody had an easier time getting those labels trimmed out if you're not using a die cut machine. And actually I have one more thing to share. So we always do an add-on, and this add-on we are doing little journaling boxes. So we have a set of journaling rectangles that have a pattern behind each one with either blank spot, a grid, or some lines, and then also a set of 2x2s, which I'm so excited about. So here they are cut up. These are going to be super fun to play with, and these are additional in the shop. They are not included in the main collection. If you are a Crafty Babe crew member or a physical magazine subscriber, then these do come to you. You do not have to get these extra. They are part of your subscription. So I hope that you enjoy taking a look at this collection. I had so much fun. I mean, music is my thing, and I was trying to have a nice balance of not being overly themed, because I really wanted you to be able to also use it for just straight documenting and recording your life, recording things that are said around you, recording the things that you hear, love, see. So I hope that this collection does that, and that you really enjoy these colors and the fun that's going to come from documenting your summer. Thank you guys so much. I will leave links to everything so that you can grab anything that you'd like from this collection. And again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.